One of Hollywood's greatest achievements is its growing Asian representation in the Western entertainment industry. Hi, I'm Tsai, and I'm a proud Asian American who began to embrace my Korean, Taiwanese, and Japanese cultures after I entered high school. And for me, this representation from the entertainment industry causes me to have some kind of surge of ethnic pride. I feel as if I have a sense of belonging, and I feel very content with myself, even if occasionally I can feel like an outsider in my normal day-to-day life. A movie I absolutely adored that premiered in August of last year was Crazy Rich Asians. I'm pretty sure this movie is really popular and many of you guys have already seen it, especially if you're Asian. But we can provide a bit of context of the storyline for those who haven't. The story is about Rachel Chu, a Chinese American who goes to Singapore to meet her boyfriend Nick Young's crazy rich family. She meets people such as Nick's mom, whose name is Eleanor, who is very strict, and Nick's closest cousin Astrid, who has a heart of pure gold. Crazy Rich Asians touches on a wide variety of topics, including the differences between traditional Chinese and American values. Crazy Rich Asians has further propelled representation in the entertainment industry. It is the first movie to have an all-Asian cast since The Joy Luck Club, which was released 15 years earlier. And also, this representation has flooded into mainstream media, such as when the cast was invited to do the first all-Asian feature photo shoot for Vanity Fair, and when Constance Wu was on the cover of Time magazine. But aside from all the positives about this wonderful movie and my very obvious personal admiration for it, I do want to talk about one specific flaw: its incorrect representation as a result of generalized ethnic casting. Generalized ethnic casting basically means that casting directors don't really recognize potential Asian actors in terms of their separate ethnicities. They basically mash them all together like this, and they just move on. Unfortunately, this is very prevalent in Crazy Rich Asians. Crazy Rich Asians is a movie about a Chinese American trying to connect to her cultural values and find a sense of belonging within the Chinese community. But there are people such as Henry Golding, Sonoya Mizuno, Nico Santos, and Ken Jeong, who are all not Chinese, who are portraying Chinese characters. The entertainment industry also has a long history of incorrect racial casting as well, as a result of yellowface. A very popular example that received a lot of criticism was Miss Saigon. Miss Saigon is a musical theater hit, and it portrays a love story between an American GI and a Vietnamese bar girl. And it received a lot of controversy at one point because of the role this man, Jonathan Pryce, portrayed. Pryce's character was supposed to be of mixed Vietnamese and French descent, but Pryce is clearly not Asian, and instead he wore prosthetics and bronzer to imitate a Vietnamese look. To keep it short and simple, this basically caused a ton of outrage among Asians and almost resulted in the complete ruin of Miss Saigon. But fortunately, they recasted and replaced Jonathan Pryce, and the conflict was resolved. Also, Leah Salongna, a Filipino actress who portrayed Kim, the Vietnamese bar girl, got her role as a result of generalized ethnic casting. Now, you all may be asking this pressing question: why does this even matter? This is because incorrect ethnic and racial casting can send many negative messages to anyone involved in the entertainment industry, such as audience members, like ourselves, or esteemed actors. Because of incorrect racial and ethnic casting, minorities are discouraged from joining the already competitive and very fast-paced entertainment industry. And this also displaces those already trying to become successful as a result of there being a small group of select actors who can fill in their rightful ethnic roles. less minority-focused productions would be created as a result of there being less actors within the industry. And unfortunately, the current mentality of some writers and directors is, I don't really feel like making a movie about Asian people because Crazy Rich Asians just did that in August. But luckily, Asians do have a lot of representation in other fields, especially STEM-related careers. But we have to remember that the deficit of representation within the entertainment industry is very impactful because the entertainment industry is one of the largest fields of work that has global influence and can impact a wide variety of people, such as the 70-year-old grandma versus the tiny tot. I was reading an article about representation by Huffington Post, and I learned a very interesting phrase: symbolic annihilation. Symbolic annihilation in simple terms basically means that if someone does not see themselves in the media that they consume, they somehow feel as if they are unimportant and therefore their self-worth diminishes. This is very much a prevalent issue among various Asian groups, various Asian ethnic groups. And because of this, Asians have a very strong sense of desire to belong. And of course, it's not all Asians, but I am one of them. And if you don't completely understand, which I get, you can imagine yourself in our shoes. Let's say that right now you're not in an auditorium, you're in a movie theater, and that's the movie screen. And you look up at this screen and you see a beautiful cast full of people who remind you of yourself, your loved ones, and your cultural values that you hold deeply to your heart. I don't know about you guys, but whenever I see films like that, I feel a tad bit more empowered and even a little bit beautiful. But of course, when we're providing this representation, we have to do it properly. We can't impose a certain set of stereotypes, such as the Asian nerd or the nice sidekick. We want people to not feel as if they have to fit in a certain mold to have a place in society. And it's also really important that we remember that this does not pertain to just Asian people. This pertains to everyone who is trying to feel a sense of belonging and balancing their ethnic cultural values with the highly westernized society that we live in. If we provide proper and correct representation, regardless of your race or your ethnicity, we can spread a positive message on a global scale that everybody is important. That regardless of racial and ethnic differences, everybody is equal. Well, of course, aside from this pretty critical talk about representation in the entertainment industry, I am definitely proud of the strides Hollywood has taken thus far to improve representation. When I saw Crazy Rich Asians for the first time, yes, I have watched it multiple times, I wanted to cry so badly throughout the entire movie, not even during the sad parts, just because I was so proud of the cast for making such great strides within the entertainment industry for the Asian American community. But we have to remember that minorities aren't like pieces to a puzzle. Aren't pieces of a puzzle that perfectly fit together to create one picture. We each have our own stories, experiences, and cultural values, and we each deserve to have our own identities respected. So at this point, we can't really just ask for more. We have to demand for more, because we shouldn't feel content with just seeing someone in films and TV shows who is trying really hard to be like us. We should instead feel a true sense of belonging and content by seeing someone who is like us on the big screen. Thank you.